Ah. Everybody there? Hello, hello, hello.
Finally.
22 minutes in. Sorry about that. Holy shit balls, Batman. Well, not the best way to start the day, but
clearly.
But you know what can we do? We're rookies at this and just proved it. One friggin' setting just decided to go off. I think I'm going to have a drink
of tea.
Of yellow
apple juice.
Adult fluid.
Apple juice.
So anything, let's get started here. All right, so sorry about the 22-minute delay. This is Sammy, and this is Kimmy, and this is Sammitized. Sorry about everything. Mm-hmm. No crazy introduction today. Anybody that's over here that has not been on our podcast in the past,
watch a previous one.
No, I'm just fucking with you. No, basically it's this is our little thing to do in the afternoon or evening every Saturday night about
late
9 o'clock.
Evening. Yeah.
Late evening, that's why we call it late night at podcast at Sammitized.
At some point we'll be moving it an hour earlier.
Yes, we're going to be moving a little earlier. Actually, probably late. A lot easier because there's a lot of people that probably don't want to listen to us anymore, especially after the crap that we just dealt with. So, good afternoon, and I hope an evening and everything else. I'm all out of combobulated frickin' mess now.
Let's get into what we're talking about.
Okay. Ow. What would you do?
This stupid chair.
You scared me. like you dropped a bomb or something.
I'm trying to sit back in it, and it just decides it's going to lean back on its own. I think the cat moved the button. I don't know.
Oh, so we're sorry. I think our cats did putts with the frickin' cables. Sorry. But anyway, back to what we were talking. Back to everything. Glad to have you all here. We lost a couple on YouTube, and we're sorry for that. If you guys come back, we'll be more than appreciative for you to come back and say hi. But if not, I get it. We had 5 people at one time, and then we lost everybody. So anyway,
all over.
So let's get. So anyways. Speaking of fuck ups, I got some. I was watching some of the news today, and there's a Florida woman that got a DUI, and it's kind of interesting how she got this DUI.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, she was she got busted driving a golf cart on Highway I-5 on the other coast.
Great.
Yeah, they basically ran off the road, and she, yeah, thank you, Johnny. I'm glad you're there on YouTube. At least you came back. I appreciate you. You and your perverted ass. So anyway, back to the story. So this Florida woman, I guess, decided to go drinking. She just. I have to ignore Johnny's comments because he gets a little outrageous on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Anybody that wants to see Johnny's comments, they can see it there. I'm not relaying his comments. Kim's like, I don't even want to know.
Let's keep it respectful, folks.
Yeah, yes. So anyway, so this woman is like, I guess this cop is driving on I-95, and all of a sudden he sees this golf cart, and he's kind of looking, and then it disappears, like almost instantly. And so what happens is that she got on the on-ramp, started to drive, and I guess she got confused on where she was going.
Great.
Because she was so lit, and she just kind of fell over and passed out, and the cart went off into the ditch. So that's where the cop found her.
That's very special.
Hugging a bottle of Jack Daniels at that on top of that.
Well, can't falter for that.
No. I mean, at least it's no. There was no accident involved. Nobody got killed.
Just maybe the golf cart.
Just an old 56-year-old lady getting cracked out on Jack Daniels.
And her golf cart paid the price.
And her golf cart paid the price. That's right.
Those things are expensive.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. So, so anyway, I went to, so I was looking at other things, and I got a couple stories I didn't tell last week, and I know you're pissed because you didn't get to hear them either.
Yeah.
See, what I don't tell you guys is that when I have a really good story, I want to see Kim's reaction. So I don't tell her the story.
So I had to wait an entire week.
She literally had to wait a whole freaking week to hear two stories that are probably not that good to start with.
And then we have this technical issue.
Then we have this technical issue,
and
for
we're starting 20
minutes.
some odd minutes late.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm waiting that much longer.
Yep, exactly. So it's like, what the hell?
Yeah, so tweak my nerves a little bit.
So she's like, the first thing she said to me was, she goes, well, I'm going to keep you in line because I didn't get to hear the two stories last week. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't, I didn't know it was that important, but I guess it was. So I feel bad. So if I go over, we go over. If we don't, we don't. Who cares? Johnny likes booze cruises, so that's why he's telling me over here now. Never know, Johnny. We could get that name of that chick, and maybe you can have some fun with her. She needs a driving partner though. You might have to pick her up.
This is true.
So anyway, other than that, I don't know if Scotty's out there tonight.
He probably was, and then we lost him.
Yeah, we lost
so he's
him 3
come
times.
Back now.
Yeah, Scotty, come back and see us. But anyway, all right. So, other than the golf cart lady drinking JD, I mean, I guess it could be worse because there was this other story that I heard during the week that I thought was pretty interesting, and it was, okay, if you're a chiropractor, you're a doctor, right? I mean,
Dr. Light, you can't really prescribe anything.
Oh, you're not allowed to prescribe it?
Hell no.
Okay, so that...
They don't go... That's why doctors and chiropractors are like the enemies of each other, I mean, in the professional world.
Okay, so
That's why you don't find chiropractors at hospitals.
So I didn't know this. So I'm glad you clarified this because that's where this story I heard was coming from.
Uh-huh.
There's a chiropractor in Mississippi that got busted selling fentanyl and meth from his place.
Oh my God.
Yeah, literally selling fentanyl and meth out of it from Mississippi. Yeah, just a little. I was like, can't he just prescribe drugs? Why does he have to sell crackhead pills and shit?
No, you know what he prescribes is like massage and stuff like that.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought a chiropractor was like a doctor.
They'll argue with you that they are doctors, but
right.
If I go, hey, I got this infection here in my foot, can you give me antibiotics? And he says, no, but I can give you a massage. Then you're not a doctor.
Hey, Scotty's here. Uh-oh, the Minuteman's back.
See? Scotty knows.
Scotty knows. Scotty, the Minuteman's back? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I told you I wouldn't tell the story. I told you I wouldn't tell the story. But the man likes to keep his hat on. That's all I'm going to say.
There you go.
Right. He is not Burt Reynolds in The Bandit. He does not take his hat off or anything.
That's all right.
But anyway,
everybody's entitled to that. I reckon.
So this guy's selling fentanyl, and I mean this is like in bulk, like really bad in bulk.
Yeah.
And you almost wonder because he's in Mississippi, and then to add on to this like fentanyl meth thing, because of this open border shit that we got going on in Texas. Mm-hmm. And I know I'm not going to go and get, we got a Donnie Speed and a Johnny Speed now. Did you know that?
Dangerous?
Yeah,
no.
So it's kind of scary.
Awesome.
Yeah, so, so anyway, but this just goes, and I don't want to go into the Sky. You don't put your number out there.
Everybody can see that.
Everybody can see that. You'll get. Trust me, you haven't met Johnny Speed yet. If he finds out where you're posting your number, you're gonna get some weird fucking calls. So anyway, so back to the thing. So basically, because of this open border crap, we've got people that are that basically the what do they call them, the cartels over there? Is that what they call them? So the cartels are Jesus. So hey Johnny, if you're excited, go out to my Facebook page, the Sammitized Facebook page, and Scotty has got a cell phone number for you if you need to get hooked up with the hoe. He doesn't want her, so it wouldn't cost you anything other than a long distance phone call unless you have a cell phone. Hopefully nobody has a regular phone anymore.
Well, if they do, I hope it's free or whatever, you know.
Yeah, you have to be like 90 years old or whatever.
Right.
And Johnny Speed is
I'm sure he's
over here trying to negotiate selling his name to another guy on my chat, and yeah, so it's quite
each their own.
Yeah, each your own. So anyways, because of this border thing, the cartel is able to get shit over the border a lot easier.
Yeah.
So now the Mexican cartel, the Mexican police, the Policia,
Federales. You're not Mexican. Don't do that.
Okay.
Neither am I, and I don't do it.
I can order. Yeah, but I can order a torta like a motherfucker. That's all I can say.
Yeah, you speak food truck Spanish.
I speak food truck, bitch.
Food truck Spanish.
Food truck Spanish. Hey, I know enough just to eat. That's all that matters.
That's what is mattering. Yes,
or the last time we went to Mexico, and the guy's sitting there, and he's hopping all around, and I'm in line for the bathroom, and it's like he's hopping and hopping and hopping. I'm like, you can go ahead. And the other white dude looks over at me and goes, I didn't know you spoke Spanish, because this guy's just rattling off shit. And I'm like, can't you tell he's holding his freaking crotch and his ass at the same time, and he's yelling shit at me. And I swear I heard something about a toilet in there somewhere, so I let him go ahead. He's like, oh. This guy thought, like, all of a sudden out of the blue, I just immediately...
He thought you were Mr. Wizard of the languages,
just
huh?
Like, boom! I was like, shit, man, I don't even speak English. I speak redneck.
Exactly.
It's like, I can't even speak English correctly.
Right.
So
exactly.
So anyways, back to the Latino story. I guess the Latino cartel decided that they were going to have this big truck of orange juice go over the border to somewhat help the people that were sitting on the border get something to drink and nourishment.
Okay.
And they found 400 pounds of friggin' fentanyl.
The Trojan horse.
Yeah, Trojan horse style. And I think it was like 100 pounds of meth. But 400 pounds. 400 pounds.
Yeah. That's like what, a pallet?
Okay, to help people understand, I looked up what it takes for fentanyl to kill you. And fentanyl to kill you is 2 milligrams if you've never taken it in your life. Okay.
That's crazy.
Okay, when they sell it in prescription form, the highest packet is 100 micrograms.
Right.
MCG.
Yeah.
Okay, meaning that you would need 10 of those to get 1 milligram.
Right.
Okay, which is insane.
Yep.
Okay, now those packets a microgram can't be. It's not even an ounce. It's not.
No, it's a very small amount.
It's very tiny amount. So 400 pounds. That's like taking out half of. You could take out half of Texas just by dumping the shit in the water.
Yeah, or in the orange juice.
Yeah. So, hey, call that number and see what happens.
I don't want to call her.
Why?
Then she'll have my number.
That's why I'm not calling her.
We'll have to turn on the Google phone
We
number.
need to get a Google phone. If anybody wants to help us get set up a Google phone later, please, send me a message in the background. Anyway, so I haven't done that one yet. So anyway, so they caught all this fentanyl before it made it over the border.
Oh, great!
And it was ironic that literally 1 hour after they posted this and they caught all this fentanyl from going over the border, that then there was a big cartel fight, like 100 miles away from where they got busted.
Wow!
So it's like, coincidence? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Scotty's destined for you. Hey, have Kendall. Hey, Kendall, call that number. Oh, Johnny's gonna call her. Call the number. All right, I'll give you the number. Here, hold on a second. Are
we allowed to give the number, or is somebody gonna get us in trouble for doing that?
I guess we can't do that. Okay, so we can't call the number. Johnny, you have to call it. I can't call it, but you can look at the comments, hint, on Facebook, and you can get the number. Because I didn't give you the 616 part of the number that was at the beginning, okay? So anyway.
Yeah.
It's like my own little, like my own little, my back-end mafia over here.
Yeah.
So good job, Johnny. But anyway. Yeah, exactly, Sky. You could take a whole country with that much fentanyl. Mm-hmm. So anyway, and they were going to put it, they had it with orange juice.
Yeah, there you go.
Woo! Oh God. So anyway, enough drug talking. So basically, that was my piece of the. I just thought it was wild that this guy. He's in Mississippi, which is near Texas, so I could see if they went 100 miles in Mexico to get into the border, they obviously would drive it to Mississippi. This guy was pumping this shit out, from what I understand. Like the FBI and the DEA showed up at his doorstep. We ain't talking like the local cops decided to catch it.
See, they tend to do that stuff when you do out-of-state stuff. Yeah, you got to watch that.
So Johnny, 617 wouldn't be three of the digits either. Just letting you know. But anyway, so back to where we're at. So speaking of Scotty and his girlies that he's talking about, we had a couple funny things that was going on this week.
Yeah.
And one was, do you know what splooting is? Johnny will like this one.
I don't know if I want to know.
Splooting.
Splooting. That almost just sounds dirty saying it.
Johnny called for you, Scotty. No answer. But anyway, so splooting is I when I'm working, I open up a new web page to open up the software I need to get to.
Yeah. And
when it happens, it has like a row of all these news things. That's where I get some of the shit that I'm talking about today.
Gotcha.
And yeah, Johnny, your new nickname is Dirty Sanchez. All right. Yeah, I will give you that one. So anyway, so basically splooting. It just says, "Don't worry, splooting is okay."
Great.
And so
I'm glad to know something I
now
don't know
I have to open
okay.
Now I have to open this page up to see what the hell is going on. So I open it up and it's got a squirrel that's like spread fucking eagle. Mm-hmm. Here, I have a visual here for you too. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Boom. Okay.
Oh, so the squirrel is splooting?
Yeah, the squirrel was splooting. It didn't say that the squirrel was splooting.
Oh.
It just said splooting was okay.
Oh, so if I go to work and I lay like this, it's okay? That's what you're telling me?
I don't know.
Because they're going to call 911 and think I'm dying.
So the squirrel's humping the ground.
Yeah.
So I look up splooting because I'm like, this sounds really perverted, right?
Yes, definitely.
And so So when I looked it up the first time, it just said splooting is a way that it's okay because the squirrel is just trying to get its heat to disperse heat when it's really hot out.
Yeah, they do that.
It finds a cold surface and it lays out like that to keep from killing. Basically,
keep from overheating.
Yeah, from overheating. Yeah. So I was like, okay, that's generic. But then, so 20 minutes later, one of my peeps asked me what I was laughing about. I told him, I said, well, splooting is okay in New York. And he goes, and of course they're like, what? He goes, and so I went to show.
They thought the same thing I did. It's dirty.
So I went to show them about splooting.
Uh-oh.
Well, splooting came out a whole different answer.
Yeah, see?
So I guess splooting is also is one of the ways that a squirrel does sex mating.
Okay.
So basically yum yum ends up as bang bang at the end.
Oh.
So
that's how that works.
Yeah. So so I don't lose you guys. Kim called me and asked me because she had this bang bang shrimp that she wanted me to make.
It was delicious. We had it at the hockey game. It was
awesome. So I'm a bit of a cook. Maybe I'll do a cooking show on a separate night or something.
At some point, yeah.
But I'm a bit of a cook. So basically, I tried the sauce. Tasted good. I knew how they made it. Mm-hmm. And it's made with this stuff called yum yum sauce that is basically like a mayonnaise based type. It's almost like mayonnaise it's almost like mayonnaise and ketchup, okay?
Or something. Yeah, there's a little bit of spice. Though,
something weird, but yeah. So the long and short is so I'm on the phone and Kim's asking me what we're having for dinner. And she's like, well, we could have shrimp, but I don't have the bang bang sauce.
Boom boom.
Boom boom. That's it. Boom boom. Bang bang boom boom. Okay. The boom boom sauce.
Yeah.
So I said, well, yum yum. I have yum yum, and that leads to boom boom. And
the girl and coworkers heard.
And all the coworkers heard. And the one female coworker just turned pink in the face. And basically looks at me and goes, "Should I ask, or is this going to be an HR moment?"
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's like.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Like a little yum yum, do a little yum yum, and then you get a little bang bang in the end, or boom boom.
Boom boom. Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. So now I'm having to explain to my employees,
right, what this conversation's actually
my
about.
peers, what yum yum and boom boom is all about.
Yeah.
So so, but I don't know if squirrels do things missionary, Scotty.
I think they do it doggy, but I don't know.
Well, I think that's why they sploot. Well, it's probably easier because it
cools things off.
Well, the sex mating thing said that they lay out like that, and that's like their way of saying I give, so the guy squirrel can go up and. Well, I'm not going to explain the birds and bees, but
so the male can.
So
take
the
his
yum yum can
action.
go to boom boom.
Sure.
Yes. So.
Can you take that squirrel off our screen? Or are we going to leave him up there?
It's like, here you go. Now you know. There you go. Oop, nope. Go away. All right. So the crazy squirrel's gone. Sorry, guys. Got to do without. All right. So anyway. So that was the splooting squirrel, sex mating, yum yum, bang bang is all over.
There you go.
So I'm going to do the two stories that I was going to talk about last week.
Oh, finally. That
I decided not to, and we'll do our little food review or whatever, and then we'll decide to do and then I have a classic from the Sammy Scotty archives that I figured I would talk about. By the time then I'll be done with my
Apple juice.
apple juice alcoholic not non-adult drink. Whew. So anyway, all right. So the poop story. So actually, I'll go with the stinky shirt story first. This all happened in one day. Mm-hmm. I was having a very, very bad day, but after the day was done, it was almost worthwhile talking about. So, because it was kind of funny. So I get up early in the morning, and I had to do something where I had to go to work, and I had to drive for like 70 miles to this location. And so I grabbed my corporate shirt out of the back, threw it on, got all ready to go. Out the door I went.
Yep.
So I'm in the car, and I smell something a little bit. I'm like, nah, it's probably and I'm driving by the neighbor's house. I'm like, he's probably doing something with the sewer.
There's poop
because
sprinklers.
they
got the reclaimed water.
Yeah, they got the reclaimed
Yep.
shit water thing going off over there.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, no big fucking deal. So
it's probably that.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so so I just kept going.
Yep.
Rolled the windows down, aired out the car a little bit, rolled them back
seemed
up.
like it went away. Everything
went away.
Sure.
We're all good. So drove my 70 miles, got to this building, and went to go into this room. And I walked in this room, and this room, the building it was built in the 70s, back when they didn't have a lot of what do you call it, like construction checking.
Okay.
Yeah. And the company the company that owned the land owns the building owned the whole street.
Okay.
And the company I bought the street and the land, and the company from this other company.
Sure.
Bought them out. Well, this one building, because they screwed up the plumbing so bad, that they put in a poop blender.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's called a macerator.
Okay. Everybody that's on the podcast, okay, you tell me if you have a pipe that goes into a big tank that has blades that every so often, as it gets full, it spins just like a blender and then shoots the shit straight up in the air through a pipe, up and then back down into the sewer. Is that a blender? Yes, it's blending everything in that tank.
Macerator.
The only difference is this poop blender is like the size of two of my desks here.
Yeah.
Like from back here to like up here and that round. And they put
it's a huge macerator.
It's a huge poop blender. So anyways, what's funny is it turns on and it sounds just like a blender.
Of course,
and and there's a big metal plate that goes over it, so you can walk across it. This big old and it has screws in it, so you can if you have to maintain the old blender. And so it's just funny how it is, because the pipes, you're thinking, well, wouldn't they shove the pipes down in the ground? But no, I'm just waiting for like big PVC that's like this big, straight up in the air, out the top of the roof, down, and then back down the side of the building, and then over into a sewer pipe.
God bless the fool that's got to replace the roof and cracks that one.
Well, that's what I was thinking, is what would happen. I mean, imagine how bad that would be if just there was a crack in the pipe.
Yeah.
One
Big
little
problem.
crack is all it would take. One little weakness is all it would take.
Yep.
That blender goes, and all of a sudden, it's like,
yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's like, and the top of the roof looks like, it's like, hey, we struck oil. We struck oil. And it's like, nope, that ain't oil.
That ain't oil, man. Yeah.
There's no oil in these wheels. So we got I think my apple juice is kicking in. So anyways, so I'm thinking, oh God, well, so back to the story that I started with. So I go in this room that's next to the blender because they put this blender in our hallway to where I work.
Yeah.
So I have to walk over it, go around the corner, and it's like a little secret hidden room in the middle of this building.
Okay.
And so I go in the little building, and I'm like, what is it? I'm like, what?
You thought the macerator was broken.
I thought the thing had a crack in it because it smelled. Okay, I don't know how many people have been around an RV park or an RV or like a trailer
Dumping ground.
that has like a little recyclable toilet, but
yeah,
it smelled. The smell that I was smelling smelled like I was inside the container where the stuff was at. It was horrid.
That's terrible.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Oh, I think I remember this.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, well, I'm like, well, I'm not staying in this room very long.
Yeah,
so
right.
I did what I had to do, and I'm gone. Mm-hmm. Then I get back to my car, and I'm like, the whole car smells like this. That's weird. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, maybe it's outside and it got through the walls or something. There's a hole or, like like air vents in the roof, could happen.
Yeah, any plausible thing.
Yeah, any plausible thing. So we go out and so I'm like, okay. So I had to go to one of the other buildings down the street. And when I went down the street to the other building, I was walking outside of the room that I was supposed to be at, and I was outside, like on this railing, and I smelled it again. I'm like, it's got to be out here. It must just be, maybe it's coming off the water or something. I don't know.
Sure.
So then we're done. Everything's gone. Done doing what I need to do. I have an office upstairs. Nobody's in there except for me. Mm-hmm. And they have one of these, like, I call it these little smellerator things. It's like this. It looks like this, about 15 times bigger. And it has a little hole on the end, and it has a place to put a cartridge.
Okay. And
it puts a smell in that's supposed to make people want to buy things more than they do.
Okay.
And so it'll like smell like cookies or some shit like that.
Okay, cool.
So the room always smells like either like somebody made a lemon pie in there, or like somebody had fudge brownies, real fudge, not poop fudge.
Yeah.
But fudge brownies with it.
Okay.
Speaking of brownies, that's going to be part of a story, and Scotty knows which one it is.
Get this one going.
So anyway, I go in there, and I'm there for a couple minutes, and then all of a sudden I'm like,
you smell it again.
I'm smelling it again.
Okay.
So I go like this, and I take my shirt, and I go, well, I'm just going to put my shirt over. I'm just going to put my shirt over my face and go like this, and I'm like, ugh.
It's the shirt?
It's the shirt. I guess we have a cat.
And we have a dog.
Yeah. And somehow, either the cat or the dog had peed on this thing, or pooped, or did something, or it ended up in the same laundry as the pee or poop.
That was when Axel freaked out over that bad storm, and he knocked over all those clothes. I bet you that's, yeah.
So
and then the cat saw it as an opportunity.
Yeah. So it was horrid. Yeah. And I was wearing it. That was the bad part.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was like super bad. And so
Scotty agrees it was the cat.
It was the
See?
cat.
Yeah.
And so I'm walking through the freaking house, through this building, and like the people that are working there, I always go and say hi to while I'm there in case they need me for something.
Yep.
And they're like, "Hey, come on in here for a second." I'm afraid to go into a enclosed room. Because
you don't want to smell.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't blame you.
This guy shit himself. It's
yeah,
like
exactly.
that's kind of rude. Come in my office and drop deuce. I mean, what the fuck? And so I'm like, hey, everybody. I just keep on walking. And they're like, hi, hi, hi. Bye, I guess. Bye.
Whoops.
I mean, I got a phone call from one of them like, y'all.
Hey, where'd you go?
It's like, man, you mad at me or something? What the hell? So I immediately ran down to, there's a Walmart like 5 miles down the street. I ran to the Walmart, bought a shirt.
And some body spray.
And some body spray because I'm like, I don't know if this shit's stuck to me or not. I'm
right,
like,
just in case.
Got the old horse bath going off in the
Yeah.
bathroom. And I come out, one shirt on, and the guy sees me walk in there, and I paid for it. I mean, it wasn't like I stole it.
Right.
I went in there, and I come out with another one, and he's like following me out of the building. It's like, I bought it, man. I bought it. You know, like, come on, motherfucker. So anyway, so that was where my day. That's where the.
Yeah, but we look like those kind of people for some reason.
Yes.
I mean, you get followed through stores. I get followed through stores. For
Yeah.
some reason, we look like those pilfering types that we're not.
Oh yeah. So so then that runs me into the second part of my story.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So day's already going kind of bad because of the shit smell deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's close to lunch, so I'm like, all right, well, I got to go back to the office, which is 60 miles away. So I'll just go ahead and buy lunch here, and I'll eat it on the way. Then I don't have to take
sounds
another
like a
hour
plan.
off. I can get some work done when I get to work.
Yeah.
So I eat this. So I ate Arby's. Now, anybody that's watched any of my other stories, I must have been like partially like not in my brain for some reason, because Arby's and Taco Bell are like the two worst ones to eat,
Yeah.
and the rental food. Okay, I have a firm belief that one, like, you either have it's rental food or it's lease food. You don't buy food, you rent it or you lease it.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is that if it's lease food, it's like good food, like the pizza we're going to talk about later.
Yes.
That's
good stuff.
It's good food. You eat it, it sticks around for a while. You have a nice full tummy.
Yeah.
You're not going out shitting yourself about 5 minutes later.
Yes.
Now, rental food is like Taco Bell, Arby's.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type of shit you eat, and you feel good about yourself for about 5 minutes.
5-10 minutes. And
then all of a sudden,
all hell breaks loose.
Then all of a sudden, you're like racing to get home because it's like, I should have just waited till I should have ate at home. Well, Arby's was that way. And so I ate the biggest Arby's sandwich. It makes like a half pounder or whatever.
Oh, yeah. They're delicious.
Yeah.
When you're craving it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's also the problem.
Yeah. So I get all the way. So I have this big heavy bag full of tools. I have to go upstairs to my office, and I get to like as I'm walking up the stairs, it's obviously
time to purge.
It's hitting me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit. Like literally, shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sitting there. Here, and I'm going up the stairs. I'm like, okay. And now to help you understand, it's like if this was if this glass was the stairs, there's a hallway, and my office is right here, and there's a office to this parts room right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I get up to the top of the stairs. I can't even. I'm like, I got to go right to now the parts room. If you go down in the parts room, there's a bathroom on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
You can like sneak, you can run, you can do whatever you need to do.
Yep.
Well, so it wouldn't have took me 2 seconds to drop off my bag in my office.
Yeah.
But I couldn't go. I couldn't wait.
Yep.
I opened the door of the parts room, and the power of God must have got into me to hold that asshole tight. Because all I got to say is I stopped in my tracks. I dropped my bag to the side. Like, I got to get to the bathroom now. But every time I try to make one step forward, it's like I'm going to lose it at any frickin' second. So I'm running across this freaking. So all of a sudden it's like, and I'm like, I'm like, oh, it's all over. This is going to be the most embarrassing moment of my freaking life. I'm going to be shitting at work.
Yeah.
And now I got to explain to everybody why, A, the parts room smells like somebody just dropped deuce in there because they did. And 2, why I'm running home.
Yeah.
Because it's like I was right there.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it was like anybody that's taken a long trip understands this. I know Scotty does, but it's like anybody. It's like it's there when it's time, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
And I don't know what happened. It was like I got in the middle, and I'm just like, oh shit, here we go. And it was like I did intestinal yoga or something because all of a sudden it was like it stopped for a second, and I'm like, all right, I think I can run. I think I can run. I think I can. And I mean, I fucking was running. If my cheeks were any fucking tighter, I could have made a diamond out of that turd.
Yeah.
Because I was holding that bastard in for all dear life.
Yep.
It was like just to keep from having the most embarrassing moment of my entire life. And yes, that bathroom was that bathroom. There's a dude. His name's Austin. That I shouldn't call him out, I guess. But anyway, sorry. And he's this young kid, and he's a muscle builder guy, and he's always eating like all this healthy shit and this protein, and he will go in there and fuck up our bathroom. And I mean, fuck it up. I mean, the cleaning lady's like, God, what the fuck did this guy eat? Because it literally looks like somebody took a shit grenade and dropped it in the toilet and ran.
Yeah.
I mean, particle city everywhere. Like, there's no way in hell. Like, it's almost like he would sit down sideways and then turn around just so he could hit the other wall of the toilet too.
He was probably running like you.
So, but he does it every single freaking day.
I mean, he should
or every other
change
day.
his diet.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, God golly, son. Well, I beat his ass that day. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, I think I could have put a flag in it and had Sammitized land. Oh, but they might have taxed. Put it this way: if anybody had found out about it, they might have taxed me for tax evasion on not paying for my land and
Oh my God.
in the toilet.
That ain't right.
So anyway, that was my poop story. In the stinky shirt story.
Yep.
So anyway.
Yep.
So
I remember you calling me about that because that was the day before Axel had freaked out and he knocked over the clean laundry and mixed it with the dirty laundry.
And I'm sitting there going, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, the shirt was so bad. The shirt was so bad, I had to tie it in the Walmart bag, tie it tight, put it in another bag, and throw it in the trunk to keep the smell out of the car.
Yeah.
And it still was coming into the car.
Yeah, I washed that. That went through a double wash along with all the other stuff because I wasn't sure what was clean and what was dirty anymore.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's that nasty shit story. So anyway, let's get off poop. Let's talk about something else that smells like crap, which is our lovely swamplands of Florida. So anybody that still wants to get into the $10,000 prize for the Python Challenge, you got until tomorrow at 5 is all I'm going to say.
Oh,
yeah.
They're too late.
Yes, very too late.
Because they should be out right now if they got till
Oh, they're probably
out.
Yeah, they're probably out now. There's 800 people that are out right now in this challenge, which I don't know if everybody knows about this or not, but somebody had dropped some illegal pythons.
Well, they say it was a combination of people that released their pets that got too big, which, hello, dummy. It's like you adopt a horse. Guess what? It's a horse. You know? It's going to get big.
Exactly. So these pythons get so big, they're just eating everything in the swamp.
Yeah, they're killing
alligators,
all of the
fish, whatever.
Deer. That one they got, it had the deer in it.
Yeah, I mean these things are ginormous.
Yep.
And they just all they do is eat, shit, and replicate.
Yep.
And when we mean replicate, we mean replicate.
Oh, thousands of eggs. That one with the deer in it also had like thousands of eggs.
Yeah. I mean, alligator, Scotty, alligator-sized shit. So anyway, our lovely governor had put on this python challenge. Now you're allowed to hunt pythons year round. Okay, you just have to buy a license and you're allowed to go. In fact, what's really cool is that like the python challenge, just so you understand, is just like for the biggest one that you can have.
Yes. Well, that you can take. It has to die.
Well, actually, some of them you kill them, but they don't.
You have to kill it humanely. That's part of the whole challenge.
Yeah, you have to kill it humanely. So long and short of it, you can't just go out there. I can see Scotty because he does not like snakes. He'd be out there with like Rambo with a shotgun. Yeah. There's one, bam! Boom. There's one, bam! Yes, guy. Actually, there were some guys out there. There was a lady out there that got killed by one because they can suffocate you in the heartbeat.
Yeah, the big ones certainly can.
Yeah, and then they just eat you until you're gone. So people get dropped. That's why a lot of these people, like these cartels and shit, will just drop people out there.
Yep.
It's like the killing fields. They kill somebody, just throw it out there, and if the alligator and the snakes don't get them, something else will.
Yep.
And so, anyways, back to the python thing. So there's like 800 people that have been doing this for like a week, and they have like an award for the most pythons taken, the biggest ones, yada yada yada.
Yep.
And whoever gets the most gets a $10,000 prize at the end of the week.
Yep.
So $10,000 for a week's worth of hard fucking labor, I guess.
But you're leaving out part of that prize. So when they take the snake, they also get the meat from the snake. There's people out there that buy like the organs of the snake for, stuff that ails you. They rub on their body. The skins, then they make stuff out of it. Yeah. I mean, the whole snake gets used. It's not like
So, well, I don't give a shit either way. The pythons shouldn't be out there.
No, they shouldn't.
So even if they took them and put them in a poop blender and shot them out into the sewer after they wound them up, I'd be happy with that. Okay?
I'm just saying, there's people making way more than that $10,000 prize on these things.
Well, here's the thing about that. Okay, now let's forget about the Python challenge. Now, what I read about, because the Python challenge got me curious, so then I went to look and see what the regular deal was. And in Florida, you can get this license, a yearly license, and you can go out and hunt them any time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is where it gets really crazy. The government will give you $10 to $15 an hour,
mm-hmm.
up to 10 hours a day,
mm-hmm.
to go hunt these snakes.
Okay.
But in each snake you get is $50.
Okay.
But if it's over 4 feet, you get $25 per foot after the effect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So, for an example, you could go out and make $200 for removing a 10-foot snake.
Mm-hmm.
But then on top of that, you get your hourly wage of $10 to $15 an hour for going out and getting the snake on top of it. I mean, yeah, this guy's like, not enough money. I'm like, you're damn right.
No.
I mean, if you were totally broke, if I didn't have a job and I didn't have anything else,
right?
Time to bring out.
And you didn't have a fear of snakes.
Yeah, I'd be out there just AR-15 in that bitch.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that.
Why? Blow the head off of it. That's humane. To go dead real quick.
They're very specific about it.
Why?
You should read the rules.
Well, that's the problem. I wouldn't read the rules, and I'd be out there blowing. I'd just be like picking them off from like 10 yards away.
They want GPS coordinates of where you found it. They're making it very scientific. This is the early stages of this, even though it's been going on for a few years. Is they're trying to track where they all are and how far they've spread.
Well, All I'm saying is, if I was out there, I would be just taking suck. I'd have an AR on one side and a shotgun, a big old badass shotgun on the other side. Because as soon as I seen about 50 of them fucking little eggs, boom.
You don't see the eggs. And the snake's very well camouflaged.
They show the eggs on TV.
Yes, but
swamp people.
You usually don't find the nest of eggs.
But I'm just saying, I'd have the shotgun because shotguns only got 7 rounds.
There's people out there that buy the eggs and eat them.
Well, that's up to them, but I ain't gonna give any chance.
I think it's mostly Haitian people,
you know
but
what?
don't hold me to that.
Well, look at it, it's $50 and $25 a foot. I'm going after the snake, and I'm gonna blow the eggs away.
Yeah.
Pow.
It could work.
One shotgun.
Yeah. Boom. Tannerite.
yeah, Tannerite, the fuckers. For whoever doesn't know what Tannerite is,
just Google
that.
That
is redneck explosives,
look
okay?
It up. Yeah.
Tannerite is this chemical where you put these two chemicals by themselves. You could beat them with a hammer and they wouldn't do anything.
The minute you mix them.
But the minute you mix them, they turn into this neat little concoction that you basically make yourself a homemade controlled bomb. And basically, as long as you have something hot that you can shoot at it, like a bullet or whatever.
Farmers used to use it to take out tree stumps, I was told.
Yeah, so you take it, so you can basically shoot it from anywhere, and it just explodes.
Yeah.
Anybody that ever watched, what do you call it, the Sons of Guns back, the child molester dude that was on there, he had all over in Louisiana. He was like notorious for blowing shit up at the end of every show. So
I forget his name, but yeah, him.
Yeah, him. So that was the long. So yeah. So basically, that was yeah. So he used to use it a lot. But Tannerite's a fun thing to play with.
Don't say that. Somebody will try it, and that will screw us.
Back to the disclaimer. We're not. This is for comedic purposes only. Do not try what I tell you to do.
Yes.
Now, since we're getting to that section of the deal, please don't do anything that we talk about in the next 5 minutes, okay?
Or the last 5.
Or the last 5 minutes. Or, okay, for the last hour we've been on the air. Okay? So it's story time. Nope, actually, we're not going to do story time yet. We're going to do food. We're going to do our food review. Then we'll have story time. So, food review. So, we went to, what was it? What's a place called tonight?
Paisanos.
Paisanos. Okay, Paisanos is a restaurant that was from up north, Pasco County.
Yep.
And they just moved down here.
They opened a store down here not too long ago.
Yeah, they opened a store down here. Now, this for the people that have lived in Bradenton, Scotty included, we used to have this place called Demetrios. Okay?
On Cortez.
On Cortez Road. It was the original one. Well, the old man that owned it, he retired just like a month ago. And they shut it down. And some douchebag decided that he wanted to collect on the money, so he went in there instead. But I shouldn't say that because we haven't tried the pizza yet. It's just like this place. So we tried this place tonight, and I'm going to tell you, whether Demetrios was open or not, this pizza, I personally like it better.
Me too.
It's so much. It's really good.
Yep.
So, oh shit. So, sorry guys, my brother got in the chat. Sky, just ignore Philo Jake Kavech. So, yeah, Marcos.
Yeah, Marcos was good too.
Yeah. Scotty and Scotty and his. Oh yeah. See, Mr. Philo over here was from New York, so he knows what real pizza's like.
I got some New York cookies.
Yeah. So it's that. Yeah. Well, we're not talking about New York pizza, all right? We're talking about like the other shit. But the guy that Scotty Scotty knows. Scotty's known me since I was like 7. So yeah, crazy with a little bit of ridiculousness to go with it. So anyway, so Scotty and I used to live on the island, and I used to work at this pizza place, this Marco's place, and the guy was from New York. He would import water just for the dough. So so if the dough and the pizza you were eating was all this imported shit, fuzz, oh, Jesus. All right, James. Go introduce yourself to Johnny Speed jerk-off artist on YouTube. Why don't you? Johnny Speed probably is James. But anyway, so long story short, there was this place named Marco's, and I used to work there. And this guy, and he was a Sicilian, like from Italy. And he lived in New York, and he brought, so everything he had to have had to be from New York. Mm-hmm. And they brought in all this, so they bring in the water, they bring in everything. So they bring in, I can't even talk when this guy's on the,
stop reading this.
I'm going to stop reading text now. So anyway, so long story short, he'd bring it in, he'd make this pizza, and the pizza was awesome. Like everybody on the island loved it, and I used to have to deliver it out to like other places, like on the other side of the island. And it was back in the day when you had like this, where they had the 30 minutes or less with Domino's.
Oh, sure.
Avoid the noise. So then
everybody expected every pizza to be there 30 minutes or less.
Exactly.
Because the public is stupid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this guy Marco, I'll tell you one crazy story that had to deal with Mr. Michael Bruner. I used to
our favorite AC guy who fixes our air conditioning.
Yeah, I should give him free plugs
Props
on this
to him.
fucker.
Yeah.
But yeah, so long and short is so he's working the one night that I'm off. And I used to own a 72 Chevelle Super Sport, and so I was driving down the road on Holmes Beach, and the mufflers were on the end of my exhaust because they were kind of illegal. They just looked like mufflers. And I took this corner, and I was racing the guy around this corner, and I hit the gas, and I blew the muffler off like a rocket out the back.
Nice.
So I'm like, oh shit. And I went to touch it. It was hot. I didn't have anything to grab a hold of it. Mm-hmm. So now I'm running open. It's like a freaking race car, vibrating everything in the damn town with this big block engine in it. And I pull up to the pizza shop. Marcos is around there. Mike's working. So I pull in, and the building's rattling. You see the windows just shaking like I had this big stereo system or something, but it was the car just and it's really loud because the muffler's down the street because I can't pick it up. And so I go up to Mike and go, Mike, give me something. So he goes, oh, I got this, and he pulls off that, like the apron or whatever.
The pizza apron.
So I go and I grab his apron and I jump in the car and I go get my muffler and I come back and Mike's like, I'll help you put it on real quick. And Marco's pissed at this point. Of
course, yeah.
And Marco's like, you got to get this fucking pizza over to the other side. Over to the other side was over the bridge. Like he went up to 75th Street. Yeah. Which is like on the other side of the bridge, and it's like 10. I mean, it's a 25-minute drive in any car.
Yeah.
And we're trying to like kind of compete. Like we weren't going to say that we were going to, but he didn't want the pizza to be cold.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care what Michael does, but Michael's got to get this pizza there in 25 minutes or 30 minutes at the most. It's going to be cold. If it's cold, he calls me. We're cold. You guys are paying for it. I'm like, okay, whatever. So, and back then the pizzas there were $25. So I was like, I didn't want to fucking do that.
No, right, exactly.
So the long and short of it is that we're sitting there, and we get the muffler on, and I'm like, all right, get the pizza, let's go. I mean, we're in the fastest fucking car on Bradenton Beach at the moment.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, let's roll. So we get up to the bridge, and like the place is right off the side where the bridge is to go onto the island. So I just punch it. Like, I'm like, there's not going to be anybody out here this late at night. It was like 9:30, 10 o'clock. It's like normally ghost town on this road.
Yeah.
This is before there was any construction or buildings or anything out there.
Yeah.
So all there was a 7-Eleven on the other side of the bridge. So I get up to the top of the bridge, and I'm not paying attention to how fast I'm going. I leave the ground.
Uh-oh.
Like, my Chevelle is, I am doing Duke Boy. Like, all I needed,
maneuvers.
Yeah, all I needed at that moment in time was
not like that guy that video we watched earlier.
No,
right?
no,
Okay.
Kind of, but yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
And so we get to the top of the bridge, and I swear God was holding on to my car and trying to push it back on the ground, because I got up to the top of this bridge, and it's like all the wheels leave, and you just hear the engine rev. I let off the engine, and car goes down, and I hit the ground, and you just see sparks everywhere.
Oh,
and I'm like, holy shit. And so we hit so hard, the racing bucket seat that Mike's in, that has this 3-point harness on it, breaks off.
Oh,
okay, and it breaks, and he slides, like the whole seat just kind of slides in, so now he's on his back.
So now he's a turtle.
Trying to hold the pizza, so nothing ever happens to the pizza, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, just hold on, and I dropped that bitch in the second gear and slid sideways and took off again.
Sure.
Slight problem with that. Right as I did that, I look at the 7-Eleven. The only two things that was on that street was me and a cop.
Yeah.
So the cop sees me go over the bridge,
yeah,
and he knows that the car was not on the ground.
Yeah.
Because you hear the sparks, you hear the noise and everything
Yeah.
else. And then he hears me drop second gear and watch this car slide sideways and then take off again like a bat out of hell. So now I look behind us, and there's a cop like chasing me down this road, which was called Manatee Avenue. Mm-hmm. And so he's chasing me down this road. So I'm like, fuck, that I'm buying a pizza. Yeah. I wasn't even worried about the ticket at this point. Being a stupid kid, I was worried about paying for the $25
pizza. Yeah.
Not realize I'm probably gonna get like a $400 ticket, or I'm gonna go to jail right now.
Definitely, yeah.
So I get pulled over. The cop pulls up and he shines his light in, and he looks at me, and he turns his light over to Mike. Mike's like a super ninja turtle on the ground with the pizza like this, holding it on his chest. And the guy goes, "You okay?" He goes, "Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable, but I'm okay." He goes, "All right." He looks at me and he goes, "Son, do you know how fast you're going?" And I'm like, and this would not fly this time in this day and age.
Right.
No, sir, I don't. I was going pretty fast, though. He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Can I ask you a question?" And I go, "Yes, sir." He goes, "You have a pilot's license?" Right. "Pilot's license?" "Yeah, do you have a pilot's license?" I'm like, "No." And he goes, "You know how fast you're going?" I said, "I don't know, 60, 70 mile an hour." And Mike looks over at me and goes, "He was doing a lot faster than that. The needle was buried." And I'm like, "Shut up, Mike.
You're not helping.
And he goes, I'm going to repeat my question. Do you have a pilot's license?" Real calm and cool, Southern guy. I said, "No, sir." He goes, "Then keep all 4 fucking wheels on the ground. This is not a damn airplane." He goes, "No, I don't want to do the paperwork on this, and I don't want to have to deal with your ass. So get your ass out of here, and I don't want to see that again." I'm like, "Okay." Mike's like, "We're going to get the pizza in time."
There you go.
And then he turns around and he goes, "And slow down."
See? That was it.
The other way.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, shit." So you got the pizza. We were only like, it was still hot. They didn't cough. So I didn't have to pay for a ticket or the pizza.
The crap didn't slide to one side of the box, so that's even better.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's where that one went. So, anyway, back to the pizza story, the pizza review. So the Paisano's pizza down here is pretty damn good. I think even my brother would agree if he had some, but he's not here right now. He's in Orlando.
Yeah.
So
it's good stuff.
Yeah, but it's pretty good stuff. But yeah, so it's different because it's not Domino's and all this other shit, and you're paying for it, but you're not paying that much more for it.
For what you pay,
for what you're
I'd
getting,
rather have that than Domino's.
It's like, do you want shit Domino's? Did you know that Domino's got kicked out of a? I think it was out of a town just recently, it was in Canada, because people boycotted it because it just tasted like ass.
I wonder why.
Yeah, imagine that, right? So anyway. So, yeah, they actually went out of business, which is the first Domino's ever to go out of business, ever. It's in the news. I'm not bullshitting.
Recently?
Just recently, yeah, this week. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting because I seen it on that little banner thing. I didn't go into detail, but I read like the first two or three lines. So anyway.
You did My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah.
So you didn't actually read the article.
I didn't read the article. I looked at the pretty pictures. But anyway, so back to the thing. So that was my story about the pizza man. That was done with that. Now, I thought I would end with one of Scotty and I's bike rides. We will extract pieces of it out on the instance that the Fifth Amendment for Scotty, so it might incriminate him, as he was a crazy fuck back in the day. And
I don't think he was the only one.
No, I think we fed each other that a little bit. So we had we used to do these bike hikes when I ran the bike shop, and being a stupid kid, like I said, don't do what I do. Don't just take it for comedic value at this point. We would go on these bike hikes and basically, it'd be like 10 of us on the bike hike, and we would terrorize the fucking town. Like, we're going down Lombo Key, terrorizing Lombo Key, go down Siesta Key.
I can remember driving through the golf course.
Yeah. The golf course was our favorite part. Going through the golf courses and raising hell. Going through, and I mean, we'd be out all night. Mm-hmm. You know, we'd go into Siesta Key, drive out there, go around the circle, spray on fucking people. I mean, all sorts of crazy shit. I mean, that was that was a mild weekend, if you could say. And everybody loved to go on the bike hike, so every time we did it, we would always have 10 or 20 people.
Collect more people.
Yeah, we collect them all the time. One time, one of our buddies, and his name's Brian, Little Brian. And Little Brian, I remember he was the youngest kid of the group. He was 5 or 7 years old at the time, and he would come hang out because his sister used to come over all the time because she was infatuated with me, and she was kind of scary, and I take that back. She was really scary. Sorry, Brian. You'll even admit that your sister was scary. But yeah, so we had so little Brian would hang out with us. He was a cool little kid, and he would help me around the bike shop. And I started at the bike shop when I was 7, and it was kind of what got me into working and all that. So I was like, well, I can pass that along. He was like my little brother.
Pay it forward.
Yeah, I didn't have a little brother, so it was like having a little brother.
Sure.
And so I always considered him like my little brother, and protecting him, all that kind of shit.
Yep. And
it was so funny because we go on these bike hikes, and I remember he took this recumbent bike, and he was riding this little recumbent bike. It was a recumbent bike. And it was funny because I had a basket on the back, and so we'd have him ride with us so we could store beer, water, whatever we wanted in the basket in the back, right?
Yeah.
And so I just remember that they had cut the grass, the ditch was there, but they cut the grass flat, but the ditch went down 5-10 feet.
Oh no.
Well, not 10 feet, about 5 feet. It went down 5 feet and then it came back up. Like but the grass would grow and they would take, because those Lombok heat, they went, these ditches to be seen, so they would just cut them all nice and even.
The grass look like it's straight across.
Yeah. So I remember we were sitting there and little Brian would go, and we didn't give it to him, but he would sneak alcohol out of the boxes or the refrigerator or the cooler that was in the back behind his bicycle. Mm-hmm. And he and this one night he decided to tip him a little too much to the point where we caught him, because all of a sudden little Brian's in a tree or a set of bushes because he just kind of veered off. And then he got stuck between these two bushes, and we all are driving. I turn around and there's no Brian there anymore. I'm like, Brian, where you at? Hey man, you hear? Hey man, come on here. What? Come on here. And he's like, he literally rolled, like tilted and landed in the bush, right?
Oh no.
So I remember pulling him out that time, and then we were getting up, and there was like a 7-Eleven that was halfway to like the halfway point on the island, and we'd always stop there.
It's a good stopping point.
Yeah, and so right before we got there is where these ditches were that were covered over.
Oh my!
And all of a sudden, everybody got to 7-Eleven and no Brian again. And I'm driving by and I hear, "Hey, I'm right here. Help me out, ho!" What? I'm drive by and I don't find him. Okay, Brian. I mean, I'd go down like 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks, 10 blocks, and then you'd hear him like, I'm like, oh shit! I drove by him.
Yeah.
Turn around and I go, I'm over here. And I drive by him again. I couldn't figure out where he had fell into the ditch with this lowrider bicycle. He's already a tiny guy. In the tall grass, he's like hidden
under the grass.
In the grass, yeah.
Oh,
so we're like, holy shit. So now we had to go pull him out of there. And then, so that was one time. And then we were like, then the rest of the time we'd drive around and we'd do this raising hell thing. Well, one day we'd go in, like, there was houses on the side of the road that were like half built. And we'd go in there and check them out, like these rich people's houses that they were building, and find their little secret rooms, because there was there's like all these little crazy secret rooms and all these in these houses, like safety rooms and shit that these people make. And we would go and we'd check this all out. Well, we had gone through done all that. We went through the St. Armand Circle, and what we would do is we'd go back to 41 and drive back on 41, because by this time it's like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, between 2 and 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So there's really nobody on the road except for alcoholics, and they're driving as slow as they can because they don't get caught by the cops.
Yeah.
And the cops are really busy with them, so they're not really messing with us.
Yep.
Well, so Scotty and I, and he had a little buddy that was with him, and we all got up to where the airport is, and the airport had been newly put in like 2 years before the college.
Yeah.
New college. And so we're up on this walkway that goes over from one side of the road to the other for the college people. I know what you're talking
about, yeah.
And so we're up there, and so Scotty and this kid, we're like, hey man, go check out, see what's going on, because they were throwing a party on the other side. So we see this pool, and we would used to tack people's pools. Like if there was like a rental building or whatever, we would go jump in the pools like to cool off, like on the trips while we're out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep us cool, and you dry off by the time you're back.
Yeah.
And so Scotty goes over and he's like, man, everybody's freaking like playing bongo drums and they're naked, and I mean there's like all hell and damnation is going on, right? Well, he gets busted, and all of a sudden you hear, we're going to call the security people. And so he runs up, so we all run up on top of this thing, this walkway, and we're all hanging out there like sitting down low, like up against the wall. Mm-mm. And we're like, oh shit, what do we do now? It's like, waiting for again, we're waiting for security or the cops to pass before we go any farther.
Right.
And all of a sudden, these two really fucked up hippie looking fuckers come over here, and they're holding this pan. And we're like, what the hell? It's like, and they're like, hey. And I'm like, oh, shit, we're caught. They're like, they're going to do something. What are you up to, man? It's like, no, we're just sitting here. You hungry? And we're like, hell yeah, we're hungry. We ran out of like snacks 2 hours
ago. Right.
Like, we got some brownies. And I'm like, ooh, brownies. So we're like, oh, let's get the brownies. So we're all eating these brownies. And I'm like, man, they taste kind of funny. But we'll leave it alone. So we're all eating these brownies up. And then it was like to the point that we're all full. And there were so many brownies. Like they had, this pan was like an economy size, like something you'd see in like a
commercial kitchen.
Like a commercial kitchen pan.
Oh, Lord.
And so we're all looking at each other like, what are we going to do with these? And there was a little door on the top of the walkway. So Scotty's friend decides to chuck the damn brownies out the hole. And you hear pow on the back of this car. We're like, oh shit, time to go. So we bolt ass the other way. It's like, did they say anything? I mean, we're all high as a kite. I mean,
from the brownies,
and they're like starting to kick in, and we're like riding the bikes, like, whoa. I mean, it got to the point where like my bike broke. I fell off the bike, and it was like a 1-speed bicycle, like a beach cruiser.
Yeah.
And the pedals were going with, like the gear. When I fell, the wheel broke. Where the gear,
no.
It was supposed to be you pedal backwards and you could go into like a brake, or you pedal forwards, right? Well, the problem was the brake locked up because I fell and broke it. So the pedals were going as fast as wouldn't stop.
Oh, Lord.
So like you would start hauling ass and you'd have to lift your feet up off the ground and just hold on to the handlebars and until it slowed down and put your feet back on it and go again and let them off. Well, I was so high, I'm on one pedal going up and down, up and down, up and down the road like this. Like it's like, hey. Ooh, I'm like, man, check this out, guys.
Right,
I had no idea. I was like, I can turn this like this all damn night.
Right.
And it was like, so, and then we found a car wash, and like, hey man, and of course, the ones that didn't eat as many brownies as Scotty and I and a couple others is like, oh, why don't you go drive through the car wash? Yeah, let's drive through the car wash. So we drive the car wash, and then Scotty's friend goes in there, and we hit the button. So he got washed.
Nice.
So yeah, I was like, so then all of a sudden it's like, and he's like, and we all thought, ha ha ha. He's like, oh man, it was great. I want to do it again. You do? Well, let's all go through it now.
There you go.
Let's start doing this shit. Oh, so anyway, so then we peed on a couple cars. I don't know about at the car dealerships and stuff like that, but the Lincoln dealership down there. And then we by the time we would get back, it was like 7:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
And so you get the bikes back in to the bike shop. We'd, everybody get in their cars, go home and pass out. The bike shop wasn't open on Sunday, so it didn't matter.
Yep. And
that was basically the end of our trip. But yeah, the weed brownies were kind of crazy in the car wash. But yeah, there's other things that I omitted from the story that will keep us from incriminating ourselves.
Keep us, yeah.
But yeah, it was fun times. So that's the last story of the night. So I guess it's time to go. And thank you guys for watching. And for the ones that came back after we ended up having our audio issues earlier.
We'll try not to do that again next week.
Yeah, we'll try not to do that next week. Well, we didn't try to do it this week either, but just so you know. But anyways, thank you all. Please go over to YouTube. At least go to the Sammitized the podcast area and subscribe. And if you want, ring the bell.
Yes.
I just want to prove to everybody else, as always, that the Russian doll has more than just their family members watching the show.
Yeah, right.
And don't hesitate to go ahead and comment so I can put your name on. I'll even give you a little kudos on the air if that, for all the new members, to welcome them to the club.
Yeah.
But and we're probably going to drop this to 8:00 maybe next week. I will post it to let you know, so it won't be so late.
It's really late.
Yep. So anyway, thank you guys for listening. If you're here this whole time,
thank you.
Well, I appreciate it, and you guys are awesome. You're a legend if you did.
Yes.
And we appreciate hanging out with us.